Hey guys, this is SF and welcome to Random Talk Sundays. This week it is going to be Medjed and Curse. I think this guy's Ace. Yep, Ace, and then Igor or Leafbreaker for the farming party. And there's about an hour left, and I'm super tired because I hardly woke up. I only slept for like 3 hours, and it is a Friday morning. And yeah, I was thinking of actually sleeping through this session, but I was like, no, I have to do videos, I have to do random talk, I have to do this walkthrough for this, and then monster of the week. Probably I can do it in the afternoon and stuff like that. But I was like, screw it, I'll sleep after this. Although I have a lot of stuff to do too, but I'll take it slowly. There is time and stuff. Well, I guess in terms of news, gonna start with Global first, and that is the new series with Martial Masters and Musashi, Sasaki, and then Yagyu Jubei. In my opinion, like those three are like really good, but they're really good niche picks in my opinion. I keep on saying in my opinion for a long time, but whatever. Some of you in the comments already told me that I say that too much. But anyways, the three guys are relatively niche. And Musashi is of course is the best one out of all three. But in my opinion, depending on where you start, like how far in the game you are, you have your values for these three are a little bit different. So if you're going for like the OP, then of course Musashi is the best one. But if you have Tempest already, then it kind of gets awkward, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are gonna ask which one's better, Musashi or Tempest, or if I have an Evolve Tempest and Ascend Tempest, then what I do with Musashi if I have him. And in my opinion, and I keep on saying that again, and Musashi, you just keep it, of course, to the Ascended form, and if you have one Tempest, then of course use that Tempest to go to Ascension form. And if you have two, then like I don't see a point of having both Tempest Evolve and Ascended Tempest. And the difference between both of them are not that great. Like Tempest is good because it's just strike shot difference in my opinion. Oh my god. Strike shot difference, and Tempest brings utility, whereas Musashi brings damage. It really depends on what kind of damage output, I guess, or damage or the utility that strike shot has. So if you want like that mob clear, then Tempest is better than Musashi. But if you want more damage to the boss, then of course Musashi is the man. Bump combos, both of them are relatively meh, so it doesn't really matter that much. And then abilities are the same, sling shots are the same, they're both pierce. So it's all about that strike shot and what you really want to do, what you really want for that monster or for that specific dungeon. And then for Yagyu Jubei, is a very good tower monster. I think he's like super crazy for tower in general, and I don't know how to shoot this. Okay, that's not bad. But yeah, Yagyu Jubei is kind of like the MVP of the tower. Although like some people are gonna say like Rolf is like super crazy good, and you can bring her to like a ton of dungeons and stuff like that. But Yagyu Jubei makes the important ones matter. So although like he's really good on like 30th, 35, 40, like those three are not like the really hard dungeons, but having one monster that can fit like in these three dungeons is really useful, because most of the time you're gonna bring Arthur and then Udi and stuff like that, and not a lot of people have those monsters, and this is probably your best chance to get a good monster for that. for those tower floors. Of course, 30, 35, and 40 is not the only ones he's really good at. He can be good at the 28th floor. You can go for 22nd floor if you want like a damage output style, and he can fit in like 25th floor. Like, he's really good for a lot of floors. And of course, with the guaranteed 10 shot, then if you get him, then he can be a life changer for your tower. Like, just having that extra monster for whatever you need, like especially if you don't have Arthur and Hudi, then it's really good. So I think Yagyu Jubei is kind of like for like people that are slowly getting up there. Like, Musashi is for like the beginners who like don't have really good monsters in general. Then you have Yagyu Jubei, which is really good for people that are slowly ramping up their box towards the late game or towards like, you know, the harder stuff. And then Sasaki Kojiro is for like the really niche veterans. Very good for Izanami Zero for the either evolved form or the ascended form. But most importantly is Arcadia. She is really good for Arcadia just because of her short strike shot, short cooldown strike shot, and of course the hazards and stuff like that. So I think like, and Arcadia, there's not many good Arcadia monsters out right now. I think the only good one is like Artica, you know, Freeze or Ice Queen. Of course, Athena's Transcension will be out. That is also good for Arcadia, but it's only those three that are out right now that are somewhat good. They're really good, I guess, for Arcadia. And if you don't have Athena, then that's really sad. And then Freeze, most likely you didn't roll that Hatcher for that guaranteed, because not many people really like those three monsters in that series. So I think like those three, it's a pretty balanced Hatcher depending on what you want, depending on how far in the game you are. And then but sadly the Max Luck monsters Zeami and Chikamatsu Monzaimon, they're not very good. You can find a lot of replacements with Zeami because he only has one null and then no win. It's not that useful. Chikamatsu Monzaimon, unless you really want to farm K. Like, people that wanted to farm K would have farmed K a long time ago, like when he was here. Especially because that was when Gabby was released, and you know, if you have Gabby, then K is not that bad. But if you didn't want to farm K, then I don't think you'll really want to farm K anyways. So Monzaimon is kind of useless in that front. But of course, I'm pretty sure people that max luck everything will max luck him, and it's not like the dungeons are not that bad. I think like Zeami is a little bit annoying in terms of viable monsters, because you really want both no gravity barrier and and minesweeper on one monster. But like, you can deal with just minesweepers. But anyways, like, Hatcher wise, not relatively good. Like, I used everybody but Musashi because in my JP account, I do have all three in my JP account. So Yagyu, I use it for, you know, the 30, 30th, 35, and recently I used it in Ultimecia in the FF collaboration, and then Sasaki, Arcadia. So yeah, Musashi, I don't really use Musashi at all. I think I used him once maybe for Yomi, but I'm going to use him again in the tower, which I should go next. Actually, I'll go with the collaboration next. Doraemon. So Water Doraemon, it's not a bad monster. Very good for Arcadia if you still need that, still want that Arcadia monster. Especially if you can't farm Sima Yi, which is a really, like, some people hate Sima Yi as a dungeon just because of the gravity and stuff like that. Or what other good stuff? Like, he is, I think he's a damage one. Is he a damage one or is he a no warp? I totally forgot. Ace go here. I just remember the no block and then Arcadia because that's what most of my friends really care about. Yes, they don't really care about all the other stuff in terms of farming because they farm just as fast as me, or no damage wall, no block. So Asha, not a bad Asha monster, and he's a Pierce, and with the no block you can easily avoid the attacks in Asha, so that's really good if you want an Asha monster. In terms of max luck, if you really want to farm max luck for Ashura, Nobita is kind of a wild card because he's strong in some areas but really weak in other areas. Whereas like Doraemon is kind of like average or a little bit above average in every single category. And I need to actually focus on the shot. No, actually, no, I don't. So the thing about Nobita is that his bump combo is pretty crazy. Shotgun on him, and then he is a blast monster, so that's a amplified shotgun. Plus he has bump combo critical, so that's even more damage on his bump combo if he actually gets it. But it's not hard. Like the dungeons are not not the dungeons. The ways of getting them to max life is not hard. Just do the missions, or you can use the friend hatcher. You can farm it in daily dungeons, and most likely you'll be, if you really don't like doing the missions and you can't beat all the missions, then you'll be going with the friend hatcher to actually roll on. This is basically your one time of using all your friend hatcher points, because there's most likely no other reason you would use it. And strike shot. So I'm pretty sure somebody's going to just roll the friend hatcher and roll on max luck. Although chances are you might not be able to get to max luck, even if you have like millions and millions of friend hatcher points, because they don't come up very often. And then last but not least, after I shoot this laser, is the Jade details are out, and it gets confusing. It gets confusing, especially when you want to do co-op and stuff like that. If you really need like lens, or you just want to, if you want to play with your friends and clear together, because if you clear those Jade quests together, it goes for a clear for both of you guys. But basically the rundown is 25 quests, and like I said last week, it's confirmed that it's the first 4 series of Impossibles and the first round of Colossal. So the Impossibles are first round of Impossibles, Izanami, Tsukuyomi, second round, Ashura to Akala, 0 monsters, Izanami 0 to Tsukuyomi 0, and then War Gods, Nirvana to Akasha, and then Colossals is Avalon to Yomi. And I did put up a blog post of my teams for the Jades, and it's okay. I didn't have that much trouble in deciding. What I basically did is, some of the monsters, like what are the dungeons I have the most trouble with, and it goes down to like Eden, Daigoku, and maybe Nirai Kanai and like Memento Mori, like those really off dungeons. And then I just kind of like shifted out who are the OPs, and if I can, and how much I need of each. So for Daigoku, I really wanted Loki in there, and I only have 1 Loki. Although Loki is good for other quests like Akala, or what other quests out there? Not that many, and maybe like Marishi. But or like for Eden, you know, those are, they kind of overlap with Izanami and Izanami Zero. But you know, Eden, I kind of like screw it, bring all my OPs for Eden, and then save like some other like farmables or other picks for like Izanagi and like Izanagi Zero. Other things I have trouble with is my dupes. So like I have 3 Lancelots, and I was wondering how I'm gonna either like separate them or put them all together for like my Avalon, because 3 or 4 Lancelots in Avalon is basically a sure win for the most part. And then like I think the ones that have most I might die a lot is Yomi, maybe Daigoku. Yomi as in like the Colossal Yomi, not Tsukuyomi. Tsukuyomi I'm not going to die in there, hopefully. Although I'm not using OPs in Tsukuyomi. Well, actually I am using some OPs, but they're not my usual OPs, so I might not be able to, I'm not used to using them. But it should be okay. Other ones that I might have trouble, probably like Bishamonten, because my OPs for Bishamonten are not that crazy. I am using Deneb and Mustang, but there is a chance that I might die with that. But of course, Eden, I might die a lot. Doom, I don't have a lot of practice, that's why I might die a lot there. And then of course, Yamato Takeru Zero. But all in all, like, it's 25 impossible to Colossals, and in my opinion, if you get through to 40 floors, all 40 floors in the tower, which you have to do to get to the Jade part, you should be able to beat all those 25 Jade quests. The only hard part is that you cannot use monsters more than once, so you might not be able to use all your OPs. For instance, let's say Aladdin, you use Aladdin, you only have one Aladdin, and you use it to clear Daigoku, well not Daigoku, use it for Akasha, use it for Izanagi Zero, maybe even Izanagi. So that's the only hard part, in my opinion. But all in all, not that bad. It didn't take me that long to decide. I just like, what are the OPs that I have that only have one of them, like Loki, Roma, and how to separate the dupes that I do have, like Aladdin and Lancelot. Some monsters that you might be wondering that I do have, but I didn't put on my lineup. One of them is Arthur. I do have 3 Arthurs, and I just can't find him a place anywhere, just because I do have better monsters in general. Like I could bring him to Yamato Takeru, but I already have enough monsters for it. Like I do, and I didn't even bring Apollo X in there. Like my lineup is 2 Kushina Zeros and then Hunter King. And then I could bring in Apollo X too. so Arthur is kind of like in the really on the bench. If something goes wrong, then of course I can always switch it up on with Arthur, but most likely I won't find a place for Arthur anywhere. And I'm gonna keep it a little bit short for this week, and this is gonna be my last one. It's only been 20 minutes, but I'm gonna keep it short because I do have a lot of things and I am super tired. Like I even forgot to hit Leaf Breaker's Strike Shot, and that basically elongated my run. Okay, one last shot. But Medjed is not a bad dungeon, and he is a pseudo Margaret if you don't have Margaret. Although Margaret is not one of the best monsters anymore, still it's a farmable Margaret, so not bad, and the dungeon is relatively easy and fast. It's like S clear is 4 minutes. You might not be able to get S clear, but S clear is 4 minutes, and a 4-5 minute run is like crazy fast. And drops are really good. See, 4 drops. And let's see the time, 5 minutes. So 5 minute runs is not that bad at all. But I Like I said, I'm super tired and I need to finish up farming this. But that's pretty much it for me. I hope you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.